please stand. Their Excellencies, the Right Honourable Dame Sydney Kiddo, Governor General of New Zealand, and Dr. Richard Davis.
E ngā mana, e ngā reo, e ngā iwi o ngā hau e whā, tēnei aku mihi mahana ki o koutou. Nau mai, hara mai, ki te whare kāwana tiaunara o Aotearoa. Kia ora mai tātou katoa. Distinguished guests, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to Government House today for our investiture ceremony. I want to specifically acknowledge Mr. Joe Harawira, our kaumātua, and Ms. Puhi Wahine Tibo, our kuia. Hosting investiture ceremonies is one of the most important duties that I perform on behalf of His Majesty, the King of New Zealand. I'm delighted to bring together such an extraordinary group of New Zealanders. You have each brought pride and a greater sense of well-being to Aotearoa New Zealand through your outstanding achievements and your service to our communities. On behalf of all New Zealanders, I extend my sincerest thanks to you for your contributions. After each recipient is honoured, I invite you to join with me in congratulating them. Ms. Catriona McLeod will now summon the recipients and read their citations.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Dame Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Dame Jan Wright of Christchurch, for services to the state and the environment. Dame Jan Wright was Parliamentary Commissioner for the Environment for 2 terms from 2007 until 2017. Dame Jan commenced her role as Parliamentary Commissioner for the Environment at a time of growing public and political interest in environmental issues, and has since built a reputation for her methodical approach, robust independent advice, and as a skillful public communicator. Her leadership of the office has been recognised as valuable and pragmatic across Parliament. She's provided independent advice on topics ranging from fracking and agricultural emissions to the plight of the longfin eel. Her 2011 report, evaluating the use of 1080, predators, poisons, and silent forests has been a continuing reference in the debate around the use of the pesticide 1080. She's delivered 2 major reports on the consequences of climate change. Her reports on freshwater quality have provided an accessible overview of the science and provided policy options to parliamentarians. She has previously been chair of Land Transport New Zealand and TransFund New Zealand, and has held membership of the boards of Transit New Zealand, ACC, the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Authority, and the Independent Biotechnology Advisory Council. Dame Jan currently chairs the Te Mana Huna Auraki Conservation Project, a nationally significant biodiversity project in Auraki National Park and the Upper Mackenzie Basin. Dame Jan Wright, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an Officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr. Martin Bennett of Putaruru, for services to the environment and the community. Martin Bennett has championed environmental sustainability on farms as one of the first dairy farms to take up a national leadership role in sustainability. He's served as the inaugural chair of the Dairy Environment Leaders Forum, a Dairy New Zealand initiative bringing together farmers recognised for their sustainable efforts to share perspectives with the government and organisations. He established the Little Waipa Stream Care Group, one of the first local waterway groups. He was appointed to the Farm Management Committee of Owl Farm, a joint venture between St Peter's School and Lincoln University, turning the school dairy farm into a demonstration farm, later becoming chair. Mr. Bennett, who has Parkinson's himself, founded the Parkinson's Waikato Tin Man Club, competing in 3 Tin Man triathlons and raising $30,000 for Parkinson's New Zealand. Mr. Martin Bennett, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Ms. Wendy Allison of Featherston, for services to drug harm reduction. Wendy Allison founded Know Your Stuff NZ, or KYS NZ, the community-based service for drug checking in 2014. She operated in a legal grey area until 2020, when her advocacy, evidence collection and relationship building with New Zealand police, universities, music festivals and others led to a change to the Misuse of Drugs Act, making New Zealand the first country in the world to legalise drug checking services. She's worked with St John Event Health Services to reduce drug harm at events. She advocated for a national drug early warning system to provide awareness of new substances, which has detected multiple new drugs in illicit use. Ms. Allison currently chairs KYS NZ's Board of Trustees. Ms. Wendy Allison, please come forward. Dr. John Armstrong of Rotorua for services to Māori health. Dr. John Armstrong retired in 2020 as Rotorua's longest-serving general practitioner. He has used his commitment to te reo to help Māori patients become more comfortable engaging with the health system. He advocated for cultural sensitivity with Māori deaths, avoiding unnecessary post-mortems, to return the body to the family as soon as possible. He has been active in suicide prevention, particularly of young Māori men, meeting with gang members and rugby league players to address their health and mental health concerns. He saw patients regardless of financial status, doing in-house and out-of-office calls. Following retirement, Dr. Armstrong led education programs for Māori to overcome vaccine hesitancy during the COVID-19 pandemic. Dr. John Armstrong, please come forward. Mr. Dale Farrow of Wellington for services to the state. Dale Farrow was the Deputy Commissioner, Workforce, Employment Relations and Equity Group at the Public Service Commission from 2017 to 2021. Under her direction and leadership, the Public Service implemented a stronger and more collaborative approach to employment relations. She's established the Gender Pay Task Force and Pay Equity Task Force, and oversaw the implementation of the resulting Gender Pay Gap Action Plan. During the COVID-19 response, she led the development and implementation of workforce guidance for the public sector and oversaw the creation of the Workforce Mobility Hub. Previously, she led workforce strategy and direction for Air New Zealand, Fisher & Paykel, Fonterra, and the Ministry for Social Development. Ms. Dale Farrow, please come forward. Ms. Ruth Gerzon of Whakatane for services to community development and social justice. Ruth Gerzon was involved in the Whakatane Association for Racial Understanding and co-facilitated workshops on te tiriti and advocacy. She helped establish the People First organization to promote the rights of people with learning disabilities. She worked in the Like Minds, Like Mine movement to reduce stigma and discrimination associated with mental illness. Through the Ministry of Health, she set up programs in the Bay of Plenty to promote inclusion and autonomy for tangata whaikaha disabled people. She helped set up a virtual village in Whakatane to alleviate isolation and vulnerability among older people. Ms. Gerzon supports the movement for communities to reclaim after-death care and reduce funeral poverty. Ms. Ruth Gerzon, please come forward. Mr. Ian Hasty of Upper Hutt for services to education. Ian Hasty has had a career in education spanning 40 years, with a majority focus on Māori and Pacific students. As principal of Avalon Intermediate School, he focused on providing a culturally appropriate environment with innovative ways of learning to stop students from disengaging. He provided support and mentoring for the professional development of teachers, principals, and educators. He was active with the New Zealand Association of Intermediate Middle Schooling, the Wellington Intermediate Principals Organisation, the Te Awa Kairangi Access Trust, and NZEI Te Rio Roa. Mr. Hasty co-led the Nanai Taita Stokes Valley Kahui Ako, and since retirement in 2020 has filled in as acting principal in the Wellington region. Mr. Ian Hasty, please come forward. Mr. Muhammad Jama of Christchurch for services to the Muslim community. Muhammad Jama has been president of the Muslim Association of Canterbury, or MAC, and Canterbury Somali Community since 2002. As president of MAC, he makes efforts to ensure unity amongst the community who hail from 33 different countries. With a growing Muslim population, he's ensured investment in spaces of worship and communal gathering, investing in Masjid an-Nur. He helped source a homework centre for refugee children, which helped dramatically reduce the rate of students not attending school. After the Canterbury earthquakes, he mobilised his community to provide assistance wherever it was needed. Mr. Jama provided unifying, calm leadership in the aftermath of the 2019 Christchurch terror attack. Mr. Muhammad Jama, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the Queen's Service Medal, Mrs. Lenore Ferry of Dunedin for services to the community. Lenore Ferry chaired the Anderson Bay Kindergarten and the Board of Trustees of St Bernadette's Catholic Primary School. She was part of the organising committee of Kavanagh College, designing the school uniform. She was a coordinator, coach, administrator and selector for Kavanagh Sports. She was club president of Zonta in Dunedin and has chaired several committees within the branch. She drove the Zonta Extraordinary Fashion event. She became national coordinator of the school's anti-bullying programme, Loves Me Not, on behalf of Zonta New Zealand. Mrs. Ferry is an advisory board member of Dunedin School of Art Foundation. Mrs. Lenore Ferry, please come forward. Mr. Jimmy Gordon of Hokitika for services to the community. Jimmy Gordon has held various positions within the Hokitika Lions Club over 20 years and been a long-standing member of the Lions woodcutting team. Within the Lions, he is the almina, providing mental, physical and spiritual support to members. He has been making poppy bowls, one for every Returned and Services Association and marae in New Zealand, totalling 270 in 2 years. He installed a park bench and plaque to mark Anzac Day and the centennial of the first poppy sold in New Zealand following World War I. With his family, Mr. Gordon organises a community Christmas dinner in Hokitika. Mr. Jimmy Gordon, please come forward. Mr. Nanai Muaho of Loahat for services to Pacific Health. Nanai Muaho helped establish and is the Executive Director of Pacific Health Service Hutt Valley, or PHSHV, providing mobile community health services and social welfare services to more than 12,000 Pacific community members. He's introduced countless initiatives and projects, including Pacifica Choice Project, an obesity prevention program, which led to the establishment of an annual touch tournament. In partnership with local Pacific churches, he initiated the well-being service Faith Led. Through PHSHV, he established vaccination centres, testing stations, and vaccination festivals, and has disseminated accurate information on COVID-19. Mr. Mu'ao is treasurer of the Congregational Christian Church of Samoa. Mr. Nanai Mu'ao, please come forward. Your Excellency, the investiture has concluded.
New Zealand's honours system is our highest public affirmation of outstanding individual achievement. It reinforces those things that make our society better: service, manaakitanga, and the pursuit of excellence. To our recipients, it has been a privilege to hear your stories. You have each used your talents and abilities to improve the lives of fellow New Zealanders. In doing so, you embody the sentiments expressed by Nelson Mandela when he said, "What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the lives we lead." I urge recipients to wear your insignia with pride at every opportunity, knowing that you inspire others through your example. On behalf of the King of New Zealand and all New Zealanders, I congratulate you on your achievements, and I thank you once again for your service to our country. Kia ora, e uhuhi nei I tēnei rā. You will see on the back of your program the words to the national anthem in Te Reo Māori and in English, and I invite you to now stand and sing these with me.